You're listening to The Cultured Bumpkin, a literature podcast with Jake Phillips, where we present audiobook quality readings of the classics for your enjoyment. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, just because you're a bumpkin doesn't mean you can't be cultured. Hey, good to have you back. Since we talked last, I have swapped over my podcast server to Blueberry. They just have some more features that I like. The last guy that was on the show, J.D. Sutter, so after our interview the other day, we stayed on the line and talked a little bit. He was very helpful and told me a lot of really cool stuff. And so I'd been meaning to swap over and, better analytics. There's some better tools for posting and that kind of thing, organizing and things like that. And so I've swapped over. So this will be the first episode that's going to be uploaded to Blueberry instead of my old one. So I hope it goes off without a hitch. If you're listening, I'm assuming that it did. And hooray. So, to the poem. Carl Sandburg. We have done some Carl Sandburg, I don't know, a long time ago, maybe a couple years ago. But I came across a poem of his that I really liked. And it's called Cool Tombs. And it goes like this. When Abraham Lincoln was shoveled into the tombs, he forgot the copperheads and the assassin in the dust in the cool tombs. And Ulysses Grant lost all thought of con men and Wall Street, cash and collateral turned ashes in the dust in the cool tombs. Pocahontas's body, lovely as a poplar, sweet as a red haw in November or a pawpaw in May, did she wonder? Does she remember? In the dust, in the cool tombs? Take any street full of people buying clothes and groceries, cheering a hero or throwing confetti and blowing tin horns. Tell me if any get more than the lovers in the dust, in the cool tombs. You know, that reminds me of a verse from the Bible where Jesus says, "For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" So, Carl Sandburg is pointing to, and I'm not saying Carl Sandburg was a Bible believer or anything like that. I'm not sure of that, and I don't think he was. I'm just saying, for me personally, it made me think of a Bible verse. As Carl Sandburg points out, when you go into the cool tomb, when you're dead, you're not going to take anything with you. You're not going to worry about the, like it says, the copperheads and the assassin. He didn't have to worry about his political opponents and John Wilkes Booth anymore. He was in the tomb, So, anyway, sometimes people get freaked out. Oh, I don't like, thinking about death or what'll happen to me when I die. And that's okay. I don't suppose anyone enjoys it. But there is a recording that I did, and it's called, you can search it here, and it's called The Gospel of John. It's from the Bible. And that might be my favorite recording I've ever done. And if you've ever thought, you know what, I don't really like thinking about it, that book right there is a wonderful way to be introduced to the thought of an afterlife. So I would encourage you to go listen to that one if you can. That's a good one. It's one of my favorites. But anyway, this was Carl Sandburg with Cool Tombs. A lot to think about. Let me know your thoughts. I'm always happy to hear from you. My contact information is jakephillips116@gmail.com. You can always email me. On TikTok and Instagram, it's jakephillips116. And once again, thank you very much for listening. Thank you for everyone that has rated the show, reviewed the show. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone that has told a friend. I really do appreciate that. And if you haven't done any of those things, I would love it. Just be absolutely delighted and honored if you did. But of course you don't have to. This is your world. I'm just living in it. You do what you want. But either way, I hope that you have a wonderful day or night or wherever it is you are, wherever you are in the world. And thank you very much for listening. You've been listening to The Cultured Bumpkin, a literature podcast with Jake Phillips. Thank you very much for listening. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this, would you mind going and subscribing, and leaving a nice review on whatever podcast platform you heard this on. I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.